Hi, I'm Schizoid Inks. If you're on my channel already, you probably know what it is. If you don't know what it is, well, then look at some of my other videos. I'm some loser on the internet that's trying to make some changes to some stuff that has to do with Schizoid PD and kind of a lot of schizo stuff just in general. And today I am here with a guest that, well, we're going to have a nice conversation, more focused on like YouTube content creation, YouTube stuff, at YouTube mental health advocacy, kind of like, or not just YouTube, but just like doing this publicly and doing this with social media and everything else involved, those kind of questions. But today I'm here with, I don't want to mispronounce it. Your name?
It's Joanna.
Oh, it's just Joanna? I wasn't sure if it was just Joanna. Okay. Okay, well, anyway, I'm here with Joanna, the owner and host of, I guess, Mind Mastery. Is that how it goes? Mind Mastery. Is that the name of the show or just channel? Some people have a separate name.
Yeah, it's just basically the channel and my website.
Yeah, and your website, Mind Mastery. And go ahead and give them just a small kind of introduction of who you are, what you do, and then we'll go from there. We'll go bananas from there.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. So as maybe some of you know, I have a YouTube channel with lots of videos on various topics in psychology, philosophy, including schizoid personality. I also have a website with some articles. I do offer one-on-one coaching at the moment. So I mostly work with people on the schizoid spectrum, but of course I get other kind of clients as well, but that's my main focus on right now, basically.
Okay. So basically you're doing both content creation stuff, but also doing things behind the scenes where you work directly with certain people.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's more private stuff and then there's some more public stuff, right? Like
Exactly.
type of work you do. Okay, cool. Now I don't know much about the second half. I'm more familiar with all your videos, and I've been catching your videos in and out for like the last couple of years. Like it sometimes pops up my feed and stuff. Obviously, because of your focus now more on schizoid stuff, I kind of went back and I started kind of looking at some of the more videos in which you're talking to that more specifically, because that's kind of my focus too. But in any case, let's get started. I got a few questions. Answer them, don't answer them, whatever. Now that we know who the hell you are and why we should care, I'm curious, why were you interested in mental health subjects or mental health in general? What got you interested in it, and what purpose was there for you on that? Like, why? Just why?
Yeah, so I originally got interested in personality typing. So my Myers-Briggs personality, Jungian theories on, all these different types, archetypes. Essentially, I wanted to understand myself better. But then I guess I started going more into a rabbit hole of like abnormal psychology, how you might call it, and learning about different.
I mean, where all the cool stuff's at. All the fun stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. And so as I was kind of going deeper and deeper, I started getting more ideas, maybe from my own perspective, from my own experiences, that I thought that I can try and share with other people and see what happens. And I've noticed that some people started finding it kind of helpful and started engaging in different conversations, like on YouTube comment sections. And then essentially, I started developing a career out of it. So I did my university studies. I originally wanted to become a therapist, but because of financial constraints at the time, it was very difficult for me to get into training, and the training takes like 5 years, and cost at that time, I was like, 2021, and it costed a fortune to get trained and get into my own personal therapy as well, which takes
screw that. Sounds like a mess.
therapist.
Yeah. You wanted to go help people already.
Exactly, yeah. So I found a kind of quicker road, let's say, to working with people, and I found out about coaching. So I started coaching. I started offering this one-on-one services at first, and then I did my master's in coaching psychology. So that kind of helped me out as well to become.
That's what I should have done, but I'm an idiot. So.
Well, it's not too late.
Well, it is too late. I'm so old. I'm old, and two, I'm already like thousands of dollars in debt because I got a master's in history like a moron. It's
That must
okay.
have been interesting.
Well, I mean, it was interesting. It was just funny because I got a master's in history for probably the same reason you probably got your master's, only I didn't know that was the reason, because I was actually studying human behavior and stuff like that via history, and I thought it was history I was interested in, and it really wasn't.
Right.
It was people and how they function and more philosophical questions about all that kind of stuff. So, but that's neither here nor there. When you ask the average person why they get into a field, specifically when it has to do with working with people, they always have like an interpersonal story as to why that is. Right? See, the grandma had Alzheimer's, dad had cancer, or my mom was a teacher, or my dad was a lawyer, or my brother was a lawyer. Or, there's always some kind of like interpersonal story as to why they got into the field they did. And usually when I ask people that are in a specialist field that aren't, I guess, your average person, they always have some really kind of, either they're not even sure, or they have some kind of conceptual or abstract reason as to why they decided to get into the field to begin with, or something about the field itself is like calls to them in some capacity. Would you say you have, what would you say is the reason?
I'd say right now it's a little bit, maybe I'm a little bit mature and well-rounded, whatever you want to call it. I'm older.
Whatever. Yeah,
But
whatever.
originally what got me into psychology, it was this idea that psychology is kind of the most important thing for each person. Like everything kind of originates from your mind.
Mhm.
Your decisions, your well-being, the way your life is, everything kind of starts.
The delusion of free will. Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
I'm kidding.
You gotta do it, right?
But anyway, because so that why that though? What made that your calling?
And as I'm saying, because I think that psychology is the most important area, and adding to that, I don't think on average person, an average person receives enough education about psychology. Like we don't learn this stuff at school, like emotional regulation, or how to deal with interpersonal conflicts, or how to understand yourself, how to maybe develop mindfulness, how to make decisions in life. Nobody learns that in school. So I think like an average person doesn't really have an idea like how to kind of manage themselves. I don't know how else to
No,
call it.
that makes sense. It's kind of weird that they wouldn't. You would think that'd be like one of those things they would teach. This is why there's so many conspiracies on the internet as to like, oh, they don't want humans to learn things that
Right.
actually make them think for themselves.
Right.
Because like it'd be hard to manage a population sitting there actually contemplating their actions. So okay, well, and so is it just that idea and the importance and the value you place on the that, I guess, field of interest that kind of made you go, oh, this is what I like, this is what I enjoy working with?
Yeah, part of this, and of course, like I said, big part of it was also, understanding myself better, and I had my own challenges I've been working with, and I still have them, maybe
Yeah.
to a lesser degree. So the big part of studying psychology and going into that direction was to kind of help myself, I guess.
Has it helped?
Yeah, definitely.
Now the next question I have is, why YouTube, or why just content creation in general? Like, I get, oh, that's the field of study you have an interest in, you wanted to go to school for it, you want to help people for your own reasons that you've kind of explained. Why public platform? Why YouTube?
Because I've been very introverted, and developing real life relationships have been kind of difficult for me, but also maybe demotivating, like because how the let's say the institutions are set up, and how the businesses are set up, corporations and all these ecosystems. I always found it very constraining and limiting, especially when it comes to sharing maybe unique ideas, or kind of thinking outside the box. So to be very, like, in my opinion, maybe things changed, maybe things are a little bit better now. I'm not sure because I'm kind of working online a lot, but earlier
No,
on,
they're still pretty terrible.
Yeah, okay. Right. So nothing really changed.
Just want
Yeah.
to clarify, it's still pretty awful, all of it. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I always kind of wanted that freedom of, maybe thinking outside the box, or exploring different ideas that maybe people don't really pay attention to.
Mhm.
So content creation was that avenue for me to, work with these ideas, or developing new ideas, or discussing topics that other people would normally not really discuss, or that they're considered maybe weird, or maybe even by some people useless.
Yeah, yeah. So interested in subject matter that you're hoping to talk about so that more people become educated on said subject matter, right? Especially
Kind of,
one that's
yeah,
kind
I'd
of
say.
has like stigmas surrounding it, and a lot of complexities that require unpacking, right? It require conversation, it requires multiple videos to basically try to talk about this sort of stuff, and get any kind of ideas across. It's you can't, like, as much as somebody would love to, I don't know that you could do like a 10-minute video on what schizoid is and that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Like good luck. I mean, you could that's why, like, I go through the Wikipedia page and I'm like, oh my god, this isn't even like
Yeah.
half of it. Okay, I get that, because that's kind of a similar reason for why I did what I did. Although my version's a lot more misanthropic than yours. I think in my version,
Let's hear it.
well, my version is I got diagnosed schizoid, and then I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then I started because I got diagnosed all kinds of stuff when I was younger, and from ADD to generalized anxiety disorder to just depression and all kinds of other shit. But then when I got the schizoid, I was like, oh, cool, finally I figured out, I the first step to figuring out how to not be constantly unhappy. So then I went on the internet and I'm like, okay, schizoid personality disorder. Oh, let me check YouTube. And all I found most of the time, except for you're one of the few people that I found that had anything useful to say, no offense to most, is a bunch of videos that psychs basically just repeating the same thing over and over and over, and just kind of regurgitating what's on the Wikipedia page or in the the DSM, and so on and so forth. And not asking a lot of why questions, not asking a lot of practical stuff, like, which is basically, what can we do to improve these things? What can be done? What sort of practices can be done? What approach? What are we missing? Why is this subject not being discussed? What stuff is maybe being overlooked? Blah, blah, blah. Like all these sort of things. Like nothing was being asked. So I kept watching videos, and I kept finding nothing but just black pills, man. Like I just kept going like, okay, so they're saying that this is who I am, and there's no real chance it's going to change, or I might eventually get worse. Cool, like that
That's
sounds
horrible.
great. And so I got mad, right? I have a weird personality where I get angry and I'm like, fuck this, I got to do something. So then that's what I did. I put videos out and I was mad. And then other people were saying, yeah, man, that sucks. I'm mad too because I'm schizoid. And I was like, okay, cool. Or I'm sad. Most of them aren't mad. They're usually just kind of sad or quiet. I'm weird in that sense. But they have a lot of anger inside, even if it's not expressed often. And so then, yeah, it just went on. And the more I tried to find communities, like whether it was on Reddit or anywhere, like I would see none of these communities are cohesive. Nothing's happening here. I go on Facebook, these communities like are barely posting anything. There's like nothing hopeful here. There's nothing saying anything like, oh, there's path, there's something, there's a way, there's support, there's blah blah blah. Nothing, jack shit. So yeah, that's why. There, I hope that answers. Now we're interviewing me. I better stop. Okay, so let's move on here. So what was it like at starting out? Because you've been doing this for what, 6 years, content creation, right? Just about.
Something like that, let's say. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
on
even know
YouTube, like
when exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I was a stalker and I checked, and it's 6 years. Okay,
Okay,
I'm a creep,
I believe
and
you then.
I'm a creep. I went to your channel and I went to upload date, and then I reversed it to see what your oldest videos was, and it said 6 years. Okay,
Right, fair enough.
so
There were a
so
few more. There were a few more, but
oh, you deleted them?
yeah.
You got rid of them? Were those the ones where you were doing unboxings? Were you doing
On what?
unboxings? Do you know what unboxings are?
No,
You know,
no.
like YouTubers where
Oh,
they're
the
like, oh,
unboxing. No, no, no. And
or you were doing
that looks like so much fun.
unboxings, or you were doing like video game streams. You were like playing Minecraft and stuff. No, is
No,
that what
no, no,
happened?
no.
You're
It
like,
was from the start. From the start, it was all about like
oh, okay.
INTJs and
Oh,
like
all that
Myers
kind of
Briggs
stuff.
and all
Oh, okay.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm curious to what kind of, was there any kind of internal struggle as a content creator talking about this stuff, and as somebody that had their own kind of dilemmas they were working on? What was that like for you? Because I know what was it like for me. It was a mess, but I'm wondering what it was for you.
Yeah, it was from the start. It was very stressful, and
Yeah.
like I felt like I had to like overcome like lots of anxiety and like um not being sure like what other people are gonna think, like are they gonna find it useful? But then I recorded one and like, okay, so I'm just gonna do the experiment, see what happens. Okay, there are people that say that it's good video, so all right, I'm just gonna try another and then another. So that was like, so the way I approached it basically was like a kind of experiment. So basically see what happens.
Where did the anxiety stem from? Was it because I'm curious, was it like, oh no, people are going to reject my videos, or oh no, my videos aren't going to be of any use, or they're not going to be useful to people?
Um, yeah, like maybe anxiety about like maybe not being understood kind of thing. So like people misinterpreting what I'm saying and like injecting their own like, oh no, you shouldn't be saying this, you should be saying something else, or like, you know, like maybe trying to correct me or something like that. Which, you know, in certain situations it can be very useful, like, you know, constructive feedback, whatever. But mostly about like not being understood and maybe being like, I don't know, like perceives in a sense, maybe like perceived like, well, what is this weirdo doing? Like, what is this
No, yeah, no,
alien?
I get it. Like, because for me, like, this is how I see it. Like, what I'm gonna ask you, because I know my answer to this. What's a more if you were to think of a comment in a video that would make you more kind of like bothered, or like, is it the comment that says, this channel's stupid, you're stupid and ugly? Or is it the comment that says, I honestly don't think this video is very helpful. In fact, it may be damaging.
Yeah, probably the second one would be way worse.
Like,
Both
way
are kind
worse,
of bad.
right? The
Both are
being,
kind of, yeah, lame, but
no, both are kind of lame, but I feel like I wouldn't care if they just called me stupid. If they were said, you're stupid and ugly, and I hate your beard, and your hair is ugly, and go clean yourself up, you loser, I would just be like, I don't care, fuck you. But if they said something like, they posed an argument for why, like, I'm causing more harm than helping or something, and they're misattributing some of my words, or saying that like I said this when I didn't say this and stuff,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I think that
that's
like
kind of
that would
part
bug
of
me
it was
way
annoying.
more than in kind of insult to me as a person, because I could give two shits. I can't
Yeah.
imagine what they look like anyway, and their keyboard. So okay, so yeah, it's just, I was curious too, because those insecurities are weird. Like in my case, it was nothing but imposter syndrome, right? So it was just nothing but, who the fuck am I going on here talking about this stuff? I'm just some guy. I don't know anything. I can't help people. These people that say I'm helping them, maybe I'm just like enabling them. Maybe I'm harming. Like, I just nothing but like imposter syndrome, and piles of it. And when I made the server and everything, I'm like, is the server actually helping anyone? Is this real? Am I just like, am I trolling myself essentially into believing I'm making something good? And blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was the struggles I have, and I still deal with some of that stuff, no, not as heavily as when I started. Did you ever have the feeling where like, did any of the I guess it would be evolution, but kick in regarding like your own project, where there was times where you were like, maybe early on, where you were like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this YouTube shit anymore, I'm not doing this, this is too stressful, this is too much, I don't like it, I don't need to
Oh
talk to,
yeah,
I don't need to do
definitely.
this, I don't need to be public. Like, did you have
Definitely,
those
yeah. All
moments?
the time. Yeah, yeah.
What fuels those moments for you, that you just want to ghost all of it, like you just want to delete your channel and get rid of all of it and just be like, fuck this?
Well, like I always had on the back of my mind like that it's kind of stupid. Like I'm sitting in front of the camera, kind of talking to myself and recording myself. I mean, if you think about it objectively, it is kind of pathetic in a
Well,
sense.
isn't that, but what is any other piece of media really like? I mean, isn't that what actors
Right.
are doing in a Marvel movie? They're just like a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah, I guess.
people in
Yeah, but then
mocap
who am
suits with
I
like
to
a crazy
like
budget, and half the people in those like movies are probably have like an like they're not. I mean, some of them probably could be doing something better with their lives than acting, because I know there's a lot of actors out there that have like PhDs and shit. So it's like, which is
yeah,
really
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
But in any case, like what's different though? Like, how is it different than any other kind of recording of a person on a camera that makes it so
Well,
absurd or silly in your opinion?
I guess because it's only, only myself talking to myself kind of thing. So I've been always kind of questioning, like, because like with the example that you brought up with the movies, it's, this group of people, they're doing something, is this kind of project.
Mhm.
But then here I am sitting, kind of in my bedroom recording a video, thinking like I have something valuable to say. So, this kind of self-doubts
Oh,
can creep in that it
that's
is
almost the
kind of
same
like
thing. It's that imposter shit. Like, who the fuck am I to be on
probably
here? Like, who am
right.
I to be saying things that matter? And what's funny is that I mean, as somebody that's schizoid, like I've felt for a long time about myself in that way. Like, who am I to say anything anywhere? And also, like, anybody that believes that what they have to say because they're saying it is important is always bothered me. Like, I always
Mm,
have this idea of like, oh, there are important things to talk about and say. The person saying them is less important than the words being said. And that's just my opinion. And that's how I felt about myself. Like, I do, like, it doesn't matter who's saying them. And the reason I'm saying the words that I'm saying is because there isn't a lot of people saying these words. So the fact that I'm the one doing it is just chance, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't consider it anything particularly special on the part of the individual. But that's just my pessimistic ass philosophy on certain things. Uh, but yeah, okay, cool. Do you think mental health advocacy is a popular subject? How popular is it? I mean, how popular do you think it is?
Yeah,
Or what
a
parts of it are
little.
popular? What parts of mental health advocacy or discussions are more popular than others, in your opinion?
Like the biggest thing like that stands out for me is the whole autism awareness,
Mm.
for example.
What way does it
Or
stand out to you?
well, there's this, for example, the what is it, the autism awareness day, right? I don't know when
Well,
is it?
yeah,
Is it
there's a day now,
April
right?
or March?
That's where you
This
start
kind
seeing
of thing.
all them puzzle pieces everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, but yeah, I guess there are bits and pieces when it comes to this, whole mental advocacy thing, like, dealing with depression and like anxiety, but it's all kind of maybe surface level. And I don't know, I always have mixed feelings about this
I
kind of
want to hear the mixed
things.
feelings. Can I hear the mixed feelings that you have?
Well, on the one side, I appreciate the ideas and, maybe people have some kind of good intentions for, I don't know, campaigns or videos. But then the
You know
other
what they say
side of
about
it
good
is,
intentions, right?
yeah,
Road
the
to
other
hell.
side of it, yeah, yeah. The other side of it is that I think in this kind of mental advocacy thing is that I think the individual is missing, if you know what I mean.
The
It's just
individual
this
is missing.
general idea of depression or idea of autism, but it's not so much about people's experiences of
it's not being
depression,
integrated
which
to the individual person's experiences and things like that. Well,
yeah.
what would you do? What would you say is what could be done to better improve that in some regard? Like, what do you think? Like, as far as like stuff like what we're doing, or just having conversations with people like that, or
Yeah,
what do you
probably
mean?
conversations and maybe people giving opportunities to people to talk and share their experiences without too much stigma around it. Because like, for example, I don't know, this idea of depression keeps kind of coming into my mind, and it's
Yeah.
always something about surface level, like, oh, depression is this and there are symptoms and there are, but it's all focuses on the external, on the kind of what you can observe about the person, but it's never about the internal experience and what the person with depression, for example, goes through.
Oh,
Like, people
okay. So the
don't
actual
go
lived experience of somebody that
exactly.
deals with, like, say, constant depression or some kind of
Yeah,
severe depression.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe I haven't researched it enough. It's just something that if I have to think about mental advocacy, this is the kind of image that comes to
I
my
mean,
mind.
unfortunately, like the only way you can actually see that is if you can get somebody that is dealing with it to actually talk about it, right? And usually, somebody that's dealing with some of that stuff isn't the kind of person that's probably going to be down to want to do an interview or talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, generally speaking. So it is a difficult matter of trying to, like, but how would that's curious though, because I think, like, how would somebody, I guess if somebody wanted to make the effort, they could, like, collect writings, even anonymously, right, of people that experience
Yeah,
these sort of things. Or it doesn't have to put their face on it. It could just be anonymous stories of
right.
people that are going through this stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever come across that one website. I tried to contact them, but I couldn't get a hold of them really. It's that website online that talks, that they have their own like philosophy or approach toward it, but it's geez, the schizoid related,
Self in exile.
yeah, self in exile. Yeah, I tried to hit them up. I got an email, but then I couldn't get a hold of them again. But yeah, they have, I think, like, anonymous kind of stories and stuff on there, and I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
kind of a cool example, right? Because I think part of the problem too, like you said, is that if you don't ask the whys to the person that is actually going through it,
yeah,
you don't get all the answers, right? There's certain things that aren't observable, like,
yeah.
hell, there's certain things that the person themselves probably doesn't even know how to explain. So,
Right, right. And
so
it can make situation worse. Like, especially like for, when it comes to scheduled personality, like, talking about all this surface bullshit DSM symptoms, it can make the person feel worse, in my opinion, when these labels, this kind of attributes are being forced on them, whereas they experience might not entirely match the external symptoms.
gotcha. So you said that you started kind of placing more emphasis or focus on schizoid specifically, right? You used to kind of talk about this sort of stuff more generally, or used to talk about, like, different types of PDs or different types of aspects of personality issues and stuff like that. Why did you decide, oh, it's schizoid time, it's zoid time, it's time to zoid out? What made you go that direction?
Well, so I did this Kazaa video so a while back, like, I don't know how many years. I kind of revisited the subject a few more times, but then I felt like, okay, I was just gonna move on to something else, and then I started exploring all these different uh, philosophies, psychologies, whatever. But then, all these years when I was getting clients, like, most of my clients have been either diagnosed or they're undiagnosed uh, with schizoid. So essentially, I reached the conclusion that, okay, if most of my clients that I'm getting are already kind of on the spectrum, if you want to call it that way, I might as well just focus only on those people. It's just
Okay,
for the
interesting. So,
convenience and yeah.
so it just happens to be that the people that reached out to you, some of them were schizoid, or
Probably.
a lot of them were. The ones that did?
Yeah,
That's
probably because of my past videos
because of your past videos where you talked
on
about
on
what?
schizoid. Yeah, on schizoid personality.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Hey, do you what is there like a more is there how do I explain this? Is there like besides obviously practicality of oh there's more people that need is there another reason you chose schizoid? Is there like another reason you went in that direction besides oh there's people that are coaching or reaching out to me that are is
You mean
there
like right now or like originally?
no like why you made the focus, why you decided on that focus, like is it like you're interested in it more or like
Like
your own
I like
reasons for why that one?
well, so originally I got interested in schizoid because of like my own personal stuff. I've been kind of relating a lot to schizoid
Oh, okay,
personality. Whether I am or not, I don't know.
okay.
So, like I
That's what I
said,
was
like
kind of coaxing out. I was trying to coax out.
yeah,
Yeah, I got you there. I got you there.
yeah.
Good, good.
So the recent changes, it's all about kind of convenience and kind of bringing more focus to my business, I guess, because essentially it is a
Okay,
business.
so the yeah. So the channel is kind of a way of doing what so you're more interested, I'm guessing, in the actual more coaching stuff. Uh, that motivates you more than the say the video making stuff, or
I would say both. I go through phases.
oh,
So
okay.
there are
So it
times
just
when I
varies.
focus more on
God
YouTube
damn.
and then I focus more on clients, but I do enjoy both aspects. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're gonna start getting it's still related to the same subject, but it might start getting slightly a little heavier, but hope you're prepared.
All right. All right. Let's see.
Good. Okay. So this one's just really blunt. Um, as somebody that's dealing, that's why I wanted you to bring it up. As somebody that's dealing with certain difficulties, and I'm guessing you wouldn't be relating to this stuff if you weren't dealing with certain fun topics like anhedonia and evolution and depression and all that really cool social anxiety and all that really fun shit.
It's very cool.
So I want to ask, as far as a creator, as somebody that's trying to do this stuff, what keeps you going? What makes you give a shit? Why do you give a shit? Like, what keeps that stuff from not being enough for you to just be like, fuck this. I don't want to do anything.
I don't have anything better to do in my life.
I mean, I can imagine. I mean, you could be, I don't know, you could be like playing video games or watching movies or
Yeah.
something, or hanging out. Like, what is it that like, what keeps you going? Like, what makes you go like, okay, even if you woke up in the morning and you're like, God damn it. Like, what makes you decide, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna show up on this loser's channel that wants to record me and have like a discussion / interview with me about what I do. Oh, fuck, I don't want to do this shit. I guess I'll go on and talk to this guy. Like, what keeps you motivated?
I get days like this where I'm like, I'm not gonna do live today kind of thing. But what keeps me going is two things. So one, and it depends. Sometimes it's purely about like I just get excited about some kind of theory or an idea, or I'm doing research and I go on this kind of rabbit hole. And I feel like, yeah, maybe it would be worth to share it. Maybe my perspective would be somewhat valuable. And it's that kind of push to share it with other people kind of thing. And then another aspect of it, and again, it depends in like how much you can balance the two, let's say. But sometimes I just get into this mode of like being kind of just disciplined and just like, okay, I've been committed for that many years. I've been doing it. So just, there's no kind of like mega reason for doing it. It's just, okay, I'm going to do this video. I'm going to do that. I'm going to write. I'm going to whatever. So So I guess the discipline part is not so much about motivation, but it's more about commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part is I think that's the real motivation, actually. When I get excited about this ideas, when I start researching something, when I feel like, oh, this is like really important, that maybe I need to share it. So I would say that that's something that's been keeping me going throughout the years.
So is it this idea of starting something and committing to finish it that you decided? Is that like an idea that's important to you? Like that you feel is valuable to you? Like starting something, and if you decided I'm making this thing, even if halfway through you're like exhausted, you just go, I'm gonna do it anyway. I gotta finish. I gotta do it.
Yeah, there are projects like this. Yeah, it doesn't always work out exactly, but yeah.
Okay, I'm not trying to paint you in a corner here. I'm just trying to like
No.
trying to see what I relate to, because like there's a lot of times where I'm trying to like I have a video I want to do, like sometimes I have an idea for something I want to ramble about, right? And I know I'm guessing you write like a script, right, of what you're gonna say. No script, you just kind of talk.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So you're
Yep.
kind of like me. I
I might have like bullet points or something like that. Like
I don't even have that. I'm
yeah.
like insane. So like I'll like when I decide I'm gonna do a recording, I haven't done like a ramble video in a long time because I've just been out of sorts with it. I've been having issues with trying to even do anything to it, because I'll sit in there and I'll start it and I'll think, oh, this is fucking dumb. Or I'll be like, oh, I'm not saying anything important. This is probably not a valuable thing. Or am I just fishing for something to talk about and I don't really care? And so like or I'll watch the recording I did and I'll just be like, nah, this is garbage, and then I'll just delete it, and then I just won't put it up even though it's already done. I don't know if you relate to that at all, but it sounds like you probably have a a better hold of your ability to just say fuck it and put some of this stuff out, even like if you have your own kind of like apprehensions or kind of like worries.
Yeah, definitely. I get thoughts like this too. Like, I record something and then I rewatch it or, edit it or something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so bad, so horrible. But like, so the way I deal with it is that I just ignore these comments. Like, all right, my brain is running this script with self-criticism and for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I just ignore it. But sometimes,
it's not easy
kind of
sometimes,
thinking,
man.
it's not exactly. And sometimes it keeps me, kind of procrastinating for days. Let's say I have an idea for a video and this talk can kind of slow me down a little bit.
Yeah. What kind of stuff about advocacy? We're going to get into a little bit of pessimism here. By the way, you're dealing with allergies. I didn't make you cry. I just want to make sure, like you're over here rubbing your eyes right after.
Oh my gosh,
all
these
pretend
questions.
mean to you, huh? Whatever.
All these questions that just, I get tearful.
Oh, you get it's too much. It's too intense. Too many fucking emotions. Yeah, right. No, because I just want to clarify. I don't want comments later like, what the fuck, dude? You made Joanna cry. What a fucking dick. She's a really nice person trying to help people. You're just sitting there being an asshole, right? They're gonna clip out the part. They're just gonna clip out the part where I call your channel stupid and like, and they just put. I know them. They will. They'll clip it out and put it on the server and be like, "Watch Angst be a dick to guest" or something. Right, and I'm just gonna get all this hate mail. Okay, so what sort of stuff about mental health advocacy bothers you as an institution, like about like what you see online, what you see other people make or talk about? What's the shit on there that gets you feeling kind of discouraged, right, as a creator and as somebody that wants to talk about this stuff? Like you see certain videos or certain things being said on social media or whatever that just kind of make you go like, fuck, man, this shit's so hard. Or maybe the lack of interest in certain subjects. Like, what kind of stuff gets to you?
Well, I don't have a specific example because I guess, I don't know. I don't go and search about mental health advocacy, but like if I see stuff,
just your own experience.
anything,
In your own experience, like, the stuff,
yeah,
what stuff don't you like?
Yeah, like I said before, like it's kind of like either like surface level or there's like a hidden agenda for.
Describe. I want to hear the hidden agendas. Like, what do you mean by a hidden
I might
agenda?
get I might lose the electricity if we keep going with this subject.
Oh yeah, is that what you're worried about? Fuck it. Here on the Schizoid Angst channel, we don't care. We're rebels. We will fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care.
No, that was a joke because of
No,
the
I
other time.
know, I know, absolutely. But you know, viva la revolution. I'm curious. Like, what kind of stuff do you see that just pisses you off, or annoys you, or makes you sad online about mental health stuff?
Like it's very often it feels to me like it's about either the person advocating for something, so they kind of write the way, and it's about maybe portraying themselves in a particular light, sorry, like they care about something, like they care about depression or they care about autism, whatever that is. So it's kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm overanalyzing things, but very often it feels to me like it's fake or
Like they're
it's
grifting.
what what
Like they're
what
pretending to
what
get.
does it mean?
Grifting is like where you pretend to give a shit about something, but you don't. But you know that talking about that thing makes you money or gets you attention.
Right. Yeah, this kind of things.
Like
Yeah. So whether it's a
TikTokers, you
person
know.
or yeah, whether it's a person or it's an institution or is it kind of spreads up to other subjects as well, not just to like mental health, but yeah.
One of the things that's bugged me is like all this Sigma male shit. I don't know if you've seen the Sigma male stuff. Like, cause
Oh yeah.
like the Sigma grind, Sigma, like, you know, lone wolf, like this kind of like weird kind of like because I've seen people online post stuff like, oh, schizoids are just Sigmas and like they're just this and they're not actually, you know, we're just lone wolves that, you know, go to the beat of our own drum and all this kind of stupid shit. And it's like, I don't know, like also the I guess the fetishizing of specific personality issues bugs me too. Like, does that bother you? Like when you see like
What
people
do you mean?
like where people are like trending like a certain personality disorder or issue, or it's
Yeah.
like where people pretending they're this or that, or they have a certain
Oh
like
yeah.
personality trait, and so they think, oh, I must be a this thing, and so
I
they
thought
start.
only teenagers do it.
Yeah, that's kind of like teenagers as well, even older people, man. Like it's not just
Wow.
teenagers, right? But yeah, that kind of stuff. Does that bother you at all, or?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's kind of similar and related to what I was trying to say about like, people maybe advocating for things for their own benefit. So, maybe it's kind of cool to say that you're depressed because I don't know, that's been trending or, and you get a little bit of attention and
Want to do a
pity or
backflip,
whatever you're
brah?
looking for.
Yeah, it's just talking about how cool backflips are and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Um, okay, cool. Because I was just curious because like I was talking more like I guess institutionally, like if there's anything kind of stuff that you're just like, but if anything pops into your head while we're talking further, just go ahead. I was hoping to piss you off on here so you can get mad about something and tell us what you're mad
Yeah,
about.
that might be difficult.
That might be difficult. Oh, that's really easy for me. I'm mad all the time about all kinds of shit.
I
So
might as well too, but it's
it's hard to get it
contained.
out, huh? It's hard to get it out. It's cool, man. This is a safe place to be angry.
Oh,
Remember, the word angst is on my channel name. Anger
yeah.
and frustration, existential anger and frustration. That is what angst is. And I know that a lot of people that are schizoid and even just cluster A in general or whatever, schizophrenia spectrum people, that's the kind of angry they are. They're existentially mad. They're mad at either
Yeah.
institutions or they're mad at concepts and ideas or humanity as a whole, and that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that gets them down, which is will bring me to another part. What sort of stuff online do you want to see more of? Like what sort of content or discussions do you want to see more of regarding the subject?
Like mental health in general.
Mental health, therapy, whatever, any of that shit. Like, what sort of content do you wish there was more of?
I'm not sure if I can answer this question because I don't know what exactly is on the internet. I don't spend that much time browsing. I mean, I spend maybe a little bit of time on YouTube, a little bit of time on Twitter, but honestly, like, in my opinion, YouTube, something got really wrong with YouTube over the past
What got wrong?
couple
What got wrong?
years.
What is it? What got wrong? Tell me. Tell me, Joanna.
Well, let's say from this perspective, the algorithms changed. So, you know, the promotions of videos are not the same as they used to. The recommended videos are not as they used to, but it's kind of like very targeted, and it's all about advertisements now. And, you know, there's this whole realm of censorship as well, which I don't know if I can get into.
Controversial issues. I talk about this shit on my
know.
streams. I don't care. I know you got a lot more to lose than I do, but yeah, I get into that stuff. Trust me.
Well, like, you know, like years ago, I was able to go on YouTube and find like the weirdest shit you could find, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
But now it's like anything you type in is the mainstream, it's the mega channels, it's the whatever corporations. Yeah.
Uh-oh, you're starting to sound like one of us, Joanna. You better start slowing down there. You know, good thing this is going on my channel and not yours, right? Anyway, I'm kidding. No, trust me, like when I'm doing my streams, dude, I'll go on tirades about all kinds of shit. Last stream I was just mad the whole time. I was mad about like all kinds of stupid shit. But that's me. That's what I'm about. What would you say is if your emotional range feels dampened, what would you say is the feeling that can bubble the strongest inside you? Is it like sad, happy, angry? Which one is the easiest one to tap into? If you can, or none of them.
Yeah.
At all.
I would say I have 3 dominant. So it's either like being like kind of excited and passionate about something and like going for it, or it's like frustration or anger, or it's sadness.
Is it like deep sadness, or is it just like, oh I wish my taco wasn't cold? Like what is it? What kind of sadness are we talking? Some heavy shit?
If my taco was cold, I would get angry.
What, your taco was cold? You would get existential dread from a cold taco? Right? You'd be sitting there with your taco cold and you would look at the meat and it's like, I am also flesh and this taco is flesh and it is cold like me and I will one day also be cold like this taco, and so, you know, and stuff like that. Start getting into some cool like what do you call it? Death anxiety while you look at your taco.
Oh man.
No. Oh, okay, that's just me. Shit.
Probably.
I think I exposed myself too much with that last one.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay.
It's gonna stay online forever.
Well, I haven't uploaded it yet. Maybe I'll just scrub this whole thing. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna scrub this whole thing. Okay, so let's talk something a little more hopeful. Okay. Fuck.
All right.
Okay. What future stuff would you be interested in doing with other YouTube people regarding advocating or your own projects and your own stuff? What's the kind of things you think would be interesting to talk about? Or kind of just spitball some shit that you think would be kind of fun to do in your mind pertaining to this. And you said, if you don't mind me mentioning, you said you've never really done a lot of this sort of talking to another person that does this stuff or whatever. And I thank you, by the way. I feel like after this, you're probably going to message me a cease and desist to get rid of the recording. But it's, I hope not. But, you know, but you know, you never know. What I was going to say is what sort of stuff do you think would be cool and interesting, like for other people that are into the same thing to network with and try some shit? Because that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to get a hold of people like you and other people that are interested in these subjects, not necessarily schizoid specifically, but stuff like that, right? Especially stuff that's like neurodivergent kind of conversations about certain things. So that's my question. Now answer
And I think that what you're doing is really valuable because you're reaching out to all these people, and it's something that's been missing in my channel and in my content because I was so focused on on sharing my own stuff that maybe I overlooked the value of talking to other people and how much new ideas could come out from that.
Well, there's no value in
So,
talking to me, but
man, you really dislike yourself.
no, it's called self-deprecation. It's part of my shtick, right? Okay, no, my bad. My bad. Is that making you uncomfortable? No, I think I'm awesome. I'm amazing. No. Anyway, continue. I am a god among men.
I'm not sure which one I'm more uncomfortable with.
Well, which one is worse? I am the god of self-deprecation. Is that better? It's a little bit of both, kind of. It's like grandiose, but not quite. Anyway, sorry.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, I know, whatever. But you want to see more people do what it is that I'm trying to do, which is reach out and stuff.
Yeah, probably, and especially when it comes to schizoid personality, getting people's experiences, offering space for discussing these experiences, I think that would be very valuable, and I might do something in going that direction for my
stuff. Hell yeah, do it. Totally. Steal my audience. Go for it.
Yeah.
No. She's like, I'm gonna make my own server and I'm gonna have my own schizoid server on Discord. And everyone come to my channel. This guy's stupid. Like, you should totally do that. That'd be amazing. Hey, as long as it helps the Zoids, I'm all for it. I don't give a shit. I can die in peace finally. So I'm all about the abstract concept of what helps schizoids in this horrific existence. I love how like you're wearing like your white blouse, and you just look so like I just look so horrible next to you. I love it. Like because it's funny. I was gonna say something about that too, because you have like the white and you have like nice background and you have the couch. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with a fucking death shirt, my stringy ass hair, black and white filter. I feel like it's good though, because like you're giving me more. What's the word? Even though I don't know if this is the word you would like, but you're giving me more optimistic vibes than I have. That's for sure. I don't know if it's true though. I don't know if it's true. But yes, I find that amusing and I find that interesting. I want to see more of different kinds of people that are interested in this stuff, with different approaches, different kind of ways of speaking about it, different emphasis, ideas, and stuff like that. Because I'm just one dumb guy on the internet. Like, I want to meet more dumb people on the internet that think they're going to make a change. So and I think that's a great use. So now that we asked, that I asked you a few questions about why you do this, what you're into, and hopefully that answers some stuff for some of the people that watch your channel. Because what's interesting too is that a lot of the reason I also contact you is because I always have like the server people post stuff, right? And for a long time, people were posting your videos on there as like a good example of the type of conversation or the type of topics they want to discuss, or like, oh, this is a good channel, or I'll get DMs, right? Even though I've seen your stuff, like I'll get DMs like, oh, have you seen Mind Mastery? Oh, have you seen this channel? Aww. Like, oh, they talk about, they help me learn about my stuff more and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. So you're having an impact, right? Yeah, I'm sure you already know that shit. You're having a way bigger impact than my dumbass. But
I just didn't know the extent, I guess.
No, because like, that's what's so funny. I have a server in which I have schizoids applying, at least one or two applying every day, right? To get in. And I would say 85 to close to 90% of them don't say shit on the server. They just lurk. And I totally fine, totally respectable. Or they'll say like one thing like a week, right? And that's about it. So you're definitely hitting some points there, and you're getting through to some people that are looking for help and things like that. Do you have any questions for me about what I do, or what like you think could be better? You want to criticize me? You want to tear me down? I'm just kidding. You want to punch down since your channel's so bigger at me? No, just like, what kind of questions do you have? If you haven't, if you don't, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about your project. So like,
Mhm.
what, what got you to the point you are in today? Because obviously I know you had a lot of recorded videos before, but then it looks like you're doing more and more more streams now and
Mhm.
reaching to more and more people now. So what's changed?
What's changed? Okay, so part of it is, well, because when I was just uploading rambles on there, it was just kind of, I was just voicing what's in my head all the time. Like I have a constant inner monologue in my brain, right? There's always a fucking stupid voice in my mind, which is mine, narrating almost goddamn everything I think about, right? And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to record myself doing that. When I want to think about something, I'll think about it, and I just do kind of a stream of consciousness, right? And so I started doing that, right? And that's how initially the channel kind of gained some traction. And then eventually the server, and then I had to work on that. And that was a lot of work on its own, just advocating for trying to promote that kind of stuff. And I also noticed it was easier to promote it like on live streams and things like that. Also, once I hit a certain amount of subscribers, like I was able to monetize the channel. So, you know, I would be able to get things like super chats and that kind of stuff, right? But also, I noticed that when I would stop and like, okay, whenever I would decide, oh, I'm going to record a ramble on something that's been on my mind, when I would sit there and try to do it, um, it wouldn't come out as organically as if I was on a stream, right? Because when I'm on a stream, it's just I'm talking. I have like a subject in mind oftentimes that I want to talk about. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just totally. I don't know if you've seen the streams, the embarrassing
A little bit,
streams. Have you seen the
a little bit, yeah.
embarrassing streams though?
Maybe. I don't know
Have you
what's
seen it?
your
Okay,
dress code.
because well because like I've done streams where I try to do 3 streams a week now, right?
Mhm.
I'll do a stream no matter how I'm feeling. Okay.
Okay.
So I've done streams where the anhedonia is just like fucking off the charts. I've done streams where the depression is off the charts, like where I'm like very low functioning and I can't do anything but just like vibe out to music or just like sit there and stare at the screen and not move.
Mm.
Like I've vegged
But
out in front
there's
of
a
my
value
screen.
in that too.
Yeah, that's kind of why I do it, right? Because I have like this idea that and that's one thing I do like about streaming is this idea of if I'm doing the stream and then one of my negative symptoms or whatever pops up, I don't mask it, I don't hide it. Like there's
Mhm.
been times where like I'm doing a stream, I'm okay, and then certain subject matter comes up, certain stuff triggers some fucking thoughts. I start spiraling into like some kind of negativity spirals. They get really kind of like cosmic almost. It's like it goes from like this thing is depressing to life is depressing to why am I even doing this? And I just put it out there. I do it anyway, right?
Mhm.
And that's because in my head I go, well, I hate the fact that I'm putting this out there because it's very kind of vulnerable and gross, but also because it's necessary because it's the parts of it's the parts of these issues that don't get recorded, that no one sees,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone sees when any therapist meets most schizoids, they're going to meet some person with either really kind of dry, sort of calm, talking like this, maybe this is what bothers
Yeah.
me, or
Yeah.
this is what I like, or I don't
Yeah.
know, I'm not sure. It's going to be somebody that's kind of very aloof, very indifferent most of the time.
Yeah.
Um, or you're going to get somebody that's masking hard, like I used to, and you're not even going to be able to tell that they're schizoid, right? They're just going to be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, hey, what's up, doctor? I'm just here to deal with some anxiety, blah blah. And like, I can ham it up, right? So then they don't actually speak their mind on every subject. They're just trying to fix certain problems. I did a video on that, like I said, realistic expectations of therapy, where
Mhm.
I basically gave advice for schizoids out there that want to tackle some of their issues, but they know they're not working with a specialist for their
Right.
main
Right.
core
Right.
issue.
Right.
So like, but they want to deal with say depression stuff or anxiety stuff just to make some
Yeah.
aspects of their lives more reasonable. And so I
Yeah.
tell them, yeah, just don't bother trying to tell your psych that doesn't know shit about schizoid stuff, like because they might not be able to help. They might not be read in it. They might not be, if they're specialists, or or you mention it to them and they know about it, cool. But if they don't, just try to place emphasis on like the negative symptoms and how to alleviate some aspects of them, right? And that could help you manage your own symptoms, which in turn could help you do a little more self-help and shit like that. Because to be honest, a lot of schizoids, that's all they have. They have self-help. There's not a lot of options, right? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh yeah, streams. So yeah, that's why I do more streams, because it feels more organic and more natural. I do want to get back into the other stuff, but I feel like talking. I want to talk to more schizoids. I want to talk to more people. They don't talk to me. They put stuff in chat and occasionally join my live streams and then tell me they have nothing to say. But that's just part of the course, God, I don't know why they tune in half the time. I really don't. But anyway,
yeah,
I guess that's an answer to whatever it is you asked. I don't even know what the question was for sure.
So you've kind of become, am I understanding right that you kind of decided to become more and more like vulnerable over the course of the channel?
For sure, dude. Like for sure.
And that led to
But it's funny because it's like I'm not looking for pity. I'm not looking for like love or any of that shit really from my audience. I found friends on there. If I want like support, I have friends that I can talk to or whatever. I'm not like expecting my audience to like somehow like fucking make me feel better, It's more of a principle of like, okay, well, if this is what this issue looks like to a lot of people when they're experiencing it, why the hell am I going to hide it from my audience when the entire point is to advocate for this thing? Why am I going to hide the ugly parts? I don't see the point. So I show them the ugly parts. And unfortunately, a lot of the ugly shit is on the streams. It happens, right? I've been times where I'm like pissed drunk and just like sitting there just despondent, right? Because my life feels like it's falling apart on itself. And then there's other times where I'm having a good time and I'm just laughing and I'm talking about movies and talking about, supporting people. And it's kind of funny, even though I try to do support on there and discuss stuff, I'll say like, anybody have any questions? Anybody, anything that you want to share or stories or whatever? And most of the time they're just crickets, right? Even there'll be like 13, 14, 15 people watching. And then later I'll have like another 200 people watch it as a VOD and nothing. And I'm looking at the analytics and like they're watching like on average at least like 30% of it, even if it's like 2.5 hours. Just crickets. So I don't know, they're watching it for some reason, unless it's just all bots and I'm just crazy.
I would imagine you being vulnerable and sharing your experiences and kind of being raw and natural. That's kind of makes it relatable.
It is relatable. It's exhausting some days though, but it is relatable. It is relatable. So I don't know. Anything else?
I'm not sure. What do you feel you're going with, like, your project? Do you have like
Are you coaching me right now? Are you coaching me right now? Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to coach me?
Can't help myself.
Look here, Joe.
No, that's that was purely out of my curiosity.
I'm
like,
kidding.
Do you have like a kind of
Well,
kind
what
of
was
a
the question again?
or
A goal?
like, do you have like a goal for your project? Like,
oh
like
man. Okay. Do you want to hear the goals for my project that are realistic or the ones that are total grandiosity?
Whatever. Yeah. Like, what's your vision?
Okay. So my vision, Jesus, sure shit ain't 2020. So I guess what I'm trying to do is create a space for people like this to find community and help, and then create like content that makes those people feel like they're heard and that someone understands, so that they don't feel completely alienated and isolated in the really bad existential ways. And also I want to change some of the opinions that maybe the therapeutic community has pertaining to this stuff. I want to advocate, push towards certain types of research into very specific directions, especially the ones that have to do with kind of this whole schizophrenia spectrum stuff. I'm trying to push toward this to be able to separate the pathology from who the person is, some of those maybe cognitive differences. I have like a million things. If you want to get into why I do this on a totally like my super schizo reasons for doing this shit, like on like big fucking crazy scale, is I think that, well, obviously I don't think this just what happens. All of us are gonna die one day, right? You're gonna die, I'm gonna die. It's gonna be awesome. But point is I have a personal belief that the human soul exists, right? But I'm not a theist, right? I joke around. I call myself an apatheist, right? So it's not an atheist or a theist. It's an apatheist, like an apathy, right? I don't care if there's God. It makes no difference. So my idea is in my head. I go, okay, so what if, you know, this is really not really kooky nonsense, real metaphysical shit. What if you die and you're a schizoid, and then you're a ghost, and now you're just surrounded by ghosts that still don't understand you?
Wow.
Like I just think like now you're surrounded by ghosts in ghost society or ghost world or whatever, if there is one, just in case, and now you're just as alone, if not more alone, than you were alive. So and so that depresses the shit out of me, and I go, fuck that, I don't want that. So then I'm like, well, if we can establish a community here in the living realm, maybe when you're dead, it won't be so bad, because you'll actually have other individuals that you can connect to, like the other ghosts will.
Yeah, so we couldn't find each other.
Yeah, in a sense, like, and then just do it, be ghosts in your own kind of special way. Like I just imagine, because like I know it seems silly, but I think like, okay, if there's such a thing as being a goddamn ghost, do you think that somebody that's a ghost that's neurotypical is going to be the same kind of ghost as somebody that's autistic? I mean, I'd assume that the autistic guy is going to be an autistic ghost, right? If his consciousness still continues after death, he's going to be autistic. so like I'm just like, dude, wouldn't that suck if like you don't have any friends or people you can relate to even then? And especially if and then I think in my head I go, what if somebody backflips and then they're just more alone than ever, right? You know what I mean by backflipping, right?
Not sure.
Backflipping, okay, backflipping is like an internet meme term for somebody. So you know, because they do a backflip and then land on their neck. Anyway, so so my point is like, what if somebody does that and they're just as empty and lonely as ever? Like if in fact existence continues in some metaphysical way, right? So like I don't know. That's my grandiose schizo-y fucking more weird esoteric sort of part of why I do this.
Very interesting. So it's all
I don't know, man. It is
preparing for
a possibility. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but the possibility that things aren't going to get better just because you're dead. It's going to be, because I have a thorough belief that the afterlife is just as lame as being normal alive. So that's a theory, but that's just my personal thought. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as more grounded reasons for why I do this, I just want to make some changes. But I'm pretty realistic. I think this stuff's going to happen over time. I think that whatever I do might snowball into something a generation or two from now. Not in my lifetime. I don't see any of this changing in my life. I'm going to be long fucking dead. But whatever.
Yeah, very
I talk
valuable.
too much. I'm so sorry. This is why people.
No, that's why you're a YouTuber, I guess, because you have things to say.
It's probably why I do okay at streaming, because I generally don't stop talking. But and it's funny too, because it's just because it's always going in here. So, I hate my voice. I hate hearing myself talk because it's all I hear, like when I'm not recording. You get me?
So going kind of back, maybe, or looking from where you are right now and where your channel is right now and what you've been doing, would you do anything differently?
Well, I would definitely not get a master's in history. I would have got a master's in fucking, I've talked about this before. I would get a master's in psychology or what you're doing. It would have been way smarter because like I actually offer people that chance. Like if they want to come to me for advice, because I can't offer therapy. If they want advice or life advice, somebody can pay me for my time. I don't charge almost anything. Just because like I don't think I just because I don't have the papers. But I know I can help people. I've helped people one-on-one with
That's good.
with coaching kind of stuff, with their own schizoid stuff, their own issues, the difficulties that come with it, the reframing of some of the ideas, but not just reframing them like CBT, DBT kind of shit, more like reframing it within the context of the way a lot of us think and experience stuff, right? So it's like, okay, you explain to me how you experience it. I'll tap into that because I'll relate to it because it's probably going to be similar. And then we can discuss within that kind of framework how to improve some shit in your life. You know, and sometimes it requires getting into philosophy. Sometimes it requires getting into metaphysics. Sometimes it requires getting into like psychology or science or fucking God knows, whatever the special interest of that person is, right? Because if there's anything I've discovered about schizoids, it's that they're just as prone to as what is called in the autistic world special interests or whatever, or idiosyncratic interests in our case. They're just as prone to have these kind of like these interests that they like to like place emphasis on regarding their life and their existence. And you have to speak to them through that lens of that individual. Otherwise, you're not going to get shit done. It's just going to be a bunch of generalized advice and garbage. So, and I'll tell you right now, generalized advice and garbage don't work on most of them. They tried it all, especially old ones like me. So it's turned into a double interview. I like this. That's what I'm going to post it as. Double interview. Controversial double interview. She turns the tables.
Do you get many like people that come to you or reach out to you generally that like either are currently in therapy or were in therapy and they're like completely discouraged?
Damn, man, your questions are way cooler than mine. What the hell? And you're just coming up with them on the spot. You didn't even write these down or anything? You make me look bad. Maybe I shouldn't upload this. No, I'm kidding.
We cut it off. We cut it off.
We'll just cut it off. We'll just cut out all the parts where you're asking me questions because you're making me look bad. Shit. No, I'm kidding. So no, that is a great question. So yeah, they come to me all the fucking time. I'm guessing that's happened to you. Right? I'm guessing that's why you're asking, is because you're curious as to if I'm having the same experiences. 100%, yes, certifiably. That's part of the reason I go in the directions that I do, especially when I'm talking about the schizophrenia spectrum stuff, because there is this thing where like I get people that come with a lot of disappointment in their hearts, man. Like they show up and they're telling me like I went to therapy for this many years. I just I took SSRIs. I took, in some cases, if they have certain types of more, I guess what would be considered psychotic episodes, I took anti-psychs during a certain portion of my life, and that shit either fucked me up or didn't improve anything, or this and that, blah blah blah, right? And so they come to me with that kind of stuff, and then I tell them like, well, have you tried this? Which is just basically like finding other human beings that actually understand your lived experience, sharing those things, and then communicating through that lens. And it's like a lot of them, like when I first talked to them, a lot of them are like, that's a thing. Like for me, that's a thing I can do. That's a possibility for someone like me. Like I'm not just some fucking alien. I'm not some person that I can never connect to in any capacity. Like, or I'm not a monster. I'm not some emotional sociopath.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and all you have to do to find out, I'm not making her cry, guys. Remember, allergies. So all you have to do to get to the bottom of any of this shit is just to ask them, like, what do you give a fuck about, dude? Like, and it's so funny because like, if you ask us a lot of schizoids, if you ask them, what do you care about? Oftentimes they're gonna say, oh, nothing. I don't care about anything. Everything's terrible. I don't feel nothing. And you're gonna hear a lot of that. And I'm gonna be like, then one of the questions I pose is like, then why are you talking to me?
Yes.
The fuck are you doing? Like I'll tell them like my own psychologist has told me like that approach might be like useful. Like my kind of lack of tact is kind of because I'm not being malevolent. I don't know. People can tell I'm not trying to be malevolent. I'm just saying like, okay, can we just let's get to the thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell them like, well, then why are you talking to me? Why did you contact me? Why are you DMing me if you don't give a shit about anything? If you don't give a shit about anything, why do you get up in the morning? Why do you eat? Why do you even bother? Like, and if it's just survival, why would you even be on my server and contact me and watch my videos? Right. There's something more going on here. Yeah. There's something in you. There's something, a person, even if that person isn't something that's, you know, I guess what would be the norm in many regards, right? And so I'll ask some questions. I'll just say, well, what are you experiencing? Like, what do you give? Like, what do you care about? What do you do for, like, what is it somewhat enjoyable, even if you don't feel that much when you do it? What sort of stuff actually you have good memories about that aren't people? What, you know, and I just, once you start asking those kinds of questions and they start hearing that there's other people like that, it's wild because they start telling me that they're getting more out of just that experience, not just, you know, obviously with my stupid ass, but like with other people they meet either on the server or through the streams, right? Just interacting with the streams. They get more out of that than the fucking decade of therapy they went to.
Right. Just connecting with like-minded kind of people on the same wavelength.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh shit, this is like the best I felt in like a decade. And I'm like, that's cool, man. And then like, I mean, and it's funny too, because like I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I do. I get a lot of that. And it is part of the reason that motivates me.
Yeah.
Any more way better questions than mine to ask?
Well, I can't think of any more at the minute, but yeah, maybe in the future.
Okay, no, for sure. Does it ever bother you, right, that your aesthetics, your appearance, your mannerisms, unmasked self, if you display it? I'm not sure if that's what you do on your own videos, but you know, or you try to keep it more professional, or sure. If that's just you, then that's just you, whatever. But do you ever, does it ever bother you that it's even acknowledged? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, does it bother you that it actually has an impact on your channel and its growth and its ability? My appearance? Your appearance, your mannerisms, your aesthetic, whatever, your style. Like, does it bother you at all that it could have that it has positive or negative attributes to your ability to grow your channel or the type of views or attention you get? Yeah, I guess it's been maybe part of maybe questioning myself sometimes in my channel, like the people really watch because of the ideas I post and the content, or is there some other motivations? You think you have like you think you have like a what's the word, a bunch of simps on the internet that just watch you, like you're just simping out? I don't know. You're like, oh man, look at this cool flat affect depressed chick, it's so cool. Like, is it, you think? Like, no, because like I asked too, because like I go like I feel kind of the same way for some other regards, right? Like I go like I have long hair, I got this crazy beard, I'm always wearing like fucking black metal fucking shirt that say like Hail Satan shit like that on them, and it's like, you know, I have like this, I like to express my aesthetic. I use the black and white filter because I feel comfortable with black and white. Most of my clothes are black and white. Like I like, mine as well. Like, oh, okay, so it's the easiest, right? Oh, okay, so when you're not what you're saying, Joanna, is that when you're not recording, you're just full goth all the time? Okay, cool. Not all the time, but as you can see, I like white. I do prefer, as I grow older, I seem to develop more preference for the white. Okay, that's fine, you know. But my point is like it frustrates me that any of that has an impact. right? Because I care so little about it when it comes
Yeah.
to others,
Yeah.
when it comes to other
Yeah.
content people, right? Like, I don't think in my life I've ever decided, oh, I'm going to listen to this person's opinions on this matter because I like the way their eyes look and their hair is nice and they look like this or that.
Do
Like,
you think that people make decisions like that?
all the
That
fucking
they're like, oh,
time.
this person is ugly. I'm
Dude,
not gonna
like, no,
listen to
that's what I
them.
mean. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, okay, I'm pretty sure, like, there's probably a psych out there that might, if I were to say the things that I say and say a way, kind of like the ways you say it without fucking dropping F-bombs and being really crass and maybe dressed a little more professionally with a nicer background and whatever, then maybe they would listen to me. And the fact that that's the case is depressing to me as someone that's schizoid, right? Like, that shit fucks with me because I'm thinking, who gives a shit? Like, in my head, I go, why does that matter, right? And then I think, oh, do I have to? If my principle, my goal is to advocate for this stuff and make some changes, should I just bite the bullet and change my appearance and mask more for the purposes of trying to, like? But then I feel like I'm being disingenuous and insincere, right?
Right.
So, and I'm not being myself. So it's like this catch-22, man.
Right.
And you could see why it took me so long to think of how to ask this, right?
Yeah.
It's a very schizoidy question in the sense that, like, it's less about like, oh, are you worried or insecure about your appearance, right? Because, there's a lot of people who are, which is fine. But in this kind of schizoid variation, in my opinion, of that question is, does it bother you that your appearance matters at all? Like, the fact that it matters, does that bother you? The fact that it's even a variable that's being
Right. Yeah.
that's being so, like,
It's not even related. Like, like I put effort into like creating a video or getting ideas out there, and it just just sad that some people just don't focus on the work I put in, but on some other things like, oh, you look like this or you look like that. It's not always either positive or negative. I get both kind of
yeah, it's frustrating, man.
feedback. So this is,
Well, I'm not getting the ones you get, that's for sure. I'm not getting the same kind of I'm not getting comments like, hey, oh, you have very beautiful eyes, angst. But I'm getting comments like, like, oh, I've had comments like, why do you have to, like, be so loud, or why do you have to, like, cuss so
how
much,
does it even matter, right?
or like, dude, I had a lady, this one's a funny one, this is like the creator baseball, inside baseball, but I had a lady a while back, like, commenting on, I think, the Greenberg video that I did, right, saying that, like, I was I was actually a narcissist that was taking advantage of, like, Greenberg's, like, good faith, and essentially, like, I was just like basically saying that, like, some of the stuff I was talking about was just narcissism, cope, because of my schizoid issues or some shit. And I'm like, God damn, man. Like, and it's like, is it because of the way I present? Do I sound too boastful? Do I sound too confident or not confident enough? Do I sound too lax and aloof and indifferent? Like, I don't know. And I hate that sort of stuff even has an impact, right? And I know that you have the opposite concern, but I do worry that, like, oh, is the word not getting out on what I care about because of the way I look and the way I carry myself as a creator, right? I'm not as what's the word? I'm not as nice to look at as maybe other people might be. And I'm also not as nice to listen to as other people might.
I think you're great to listen to. Probably way, nicer than my annoying voice.
Let's see. Well, let's see. We're just both self-deprecating pieces of shit. So, I mean, I would say your voice sounds fine, right? You know what I'm saying? But
I know it's annoying. I know it's annoying to some people.
Yes, I'm annoying to some people too. So, but I know I just hate that it has an impact at all on any of this, because, like, That's part of the reason where like I thought, even if I didn't, because I initially didn't show my face in my videos. You always have, huh? You always kind of recorded yourself in your videos, I think. From what I
Most
remember.
I did quite a few where it was just audio.
But yeah, when I started, it was just audio, and
Right.
part of it was my own schizoid reasons, but also because I was like, what if it starts like, what if it has an impact on negative or positive? I don't care. What if it has an impact on how they listen, or what they
Yeah.
care about, or what's being heard? And that kind of shit bothers me a lot. I don't know why. I just don't. I want to be invisible and just a floating voice, with thoughts and
That would be
ideas
very
that we
comfortable.
listen to. I want, well, because that's how I see a lot of people, right? I listen to a lot of people, man, and I've been listening to podcasts and streams for years, and I really don't think that's a thought that's ever popped into my head as to why I would watch them or not watch them. And it actually bothers me when I see other streamers talk about someone else's video and then complain about their appearance.
Yeah.
That kind of bugs the shit out of me. Like, I'm like, oh, look at this person. Look at their hair. It's all messed up. Why couldn't they comb it for the video? It's like, gives a fuck, man. Just listen to what they're saying. Gives a shit. So I don't know. So what's your website called?
So my website is mind-mastery.com. So mymastery.com, you can type it in Google, it's going to come out as well. And I do offer one-on-one coaching. And I work mostly, as I said, with schizoid people with schizoid personality, and I offer various tools and opportunity to go deeper into kind of present moment experiences, maybe opportunities to explore different feelings. And I also use a lot of developmental psychology. So I help people to explore the kind of framework, the narratives around the experiences, and maybe shift some things or expand them so that the experience can be a little bit more pleasant, let's say.
Oh, good. You already sound way more pleasant and smarter than I do. So that's good. What's your channel? No, it's Mind Mastery. Is there any, like, do you have a Patreon? What other types of support?
Yeah, I do have Patreon. Yeah, if anyone is interested in helping out, that would be great.
Shell out those bucks. Cancel the Netflix subscription. Just give it to something that matters. Give it to Joanna here. They could use a few bucks. Everyone can. Anyway, continue. What else? Do you sell shirts? You got like mugs with your face on them? No?
Nope, no mugs, no
Not?
shirts.
What if I want a Mind Mastery shirt? When are we going to start that? When are we going to have Mind Mastery shirts?
There are like websites that you can order prints and stuff. So I'm sure they could make one.
No, but why aren't you? Why can't I? What if I want a Mind Mastery shirt? What if I want a Mind Mastery baseball cap? Huh?
Yeah, that's
what if I want
cool,
what if I want like a set of socks with like your face on the ankle?
Yeah,
and it just says schizoids are people too on the sock, and then it's just you with your glasses, and I can wear those during Christmas, right? I mean, that's a possibility. I was joking around, like, if I had merch,
very important, yeah.
If I had merch, I would put like Zoe Devoid and stuff that's kind of like more low key, so that if you ever see somebody with it, you never talk to them, because schizoids don't talk to each other, at least according to the DSM. So, we don't
So you
talk to
could launch a
anyone.
full fashion line for
which is trash bags. We just wear trash bags full of trash. That's what I would do. No, yeah, but I actually have a few ideas for eventual merch or something, but I don't know, man. I don't know what fucking people want. I don't know how to do any half of what I'm doing, and I'm kind of like a blind man, just fiddling in the dark, hoping I don't touch something poisonous. So, and I'm sure you feel the same way. So, is there anything else you want to promote, though? Like anything else you want to mention besides your channel? They can contact you on the website, and you set up like what rates and whatever with them.
Yeah, they can contact me throughout the website. I do offer free consultations. So if they're not sure, like if anyone's not sure whether coaching is right for them or what to expect, I do this free consultations, 20 minutes or a little bit longer, even if needed. And they can make that booking through my website.
And tying back to what I said before about like just kind of mannerisms and appearance, I feel like I put that out there for people, and I feel like I'm too abrasive for anybody to like actually want to contact me, because like I want to help people so bad, and I feel like if they contact me, I'm just too loud and annoying. So like that's one of those things where I'm like, do I have to like here? I can do it. Watch. Well, hold on. Well, I'm gonna do what you do. Okay.
Let's do it.
Hello, welcome to Schizoid. Today I want to discuss a little bit about a few topics of great importance. Today I have Joanna here. She is part of Mind Mastery, a channel that advocates and helps out various schizoids with much of her content. She has her own website. And I'd just like to hear what your thoughts are on some of these matters. Thank you for joining me today, Joanna. Like I can do that. That's not who I am.
Very, very peaceful and zen-like. But yeah, it's not who you are.
Like I can't do it. So if you want zen, and I'm too much of a loudmouth, check out Mind Mastery's videos. Contact Joanna on there, and maybe they can help you out with some shit. But if you want somebody to just make you feel really uncomfortable and be loud and just be really obnoxious in their ability to help you, contact me. That's what you should do. So
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me today.
thank you for being here. Record on this computer. Does it actually play that when it says recording in progress? It lets you hear it too, right? Does it ask you to like okay it or something?
Yeah, like kind of, yeah, got it.
Like got it. Oh, okay, because I guess it gives you an option if you want to bail. I know he hates it when I go off my editor, but they hate it when I just go off on tangents like this because then they have to edit it all out. But I don't give a shit. You're gonna have to deal with it. Too bad. Or leave it in. I don't care.